Hi, this is Jonathan. How you guys doing? Today we're going to talk about why you should mod your guitar. If you're new to this channel and just want to subscribe to this channel and press the bell for notification of future videos that follow and be part of the patrons to support this channel, I would appreciate it. I played guitars for like almost close to 40 years in this career of mine, this blessed career of mine that God has bestowed upon me. And I went through a whole lot of guitars. And there are some guitars that I had to do some mods, and certain guitars which I left alone, and not do any mods because they were perfect as it is. Well, those are hard to come by, but I get to encounter one of those every few years along the road. This guitar of mine here right now is it's been with me for the longest time. I think this is the oldest guitar that I have. This is a Fender Japan contemporary Strat. It's been with me since 1984 or 85. 84, yeah. There are a whole lot of changes done to this guitar. But that's a story by itself. In fact, you can take a look at the video which I've done for this guitar, the many changes I've did. The reason why I would mod a guitar is very basic. There are a couple of pointers that I have to go through, and if the stock guitar comes in and I tick all these boxes, they have no problem, then I'll probably leave them alone. Number one is string tree. Right, the string tree. As you can see, I have a touch string tree here instead of the original, steel or metal string trees that they have. They contribute to our tuning stability, especially if you're using a tremolo system like I do all the time. I would swap that for a touch string tree there and there. Tuners, if the tuners are good, like, I have some tuners which I kept, especially on my Tele. Those were the Clusen style, the old style where you slide in the tip of the strings in and then you kind of tour around. I like those. They're pretty stable. But again, if you were to have a locking tuner, then you save yourself a whole lot of problem. Just string true, cut off, lock, or very string true, lock, cut off, and just tune. It's easy. And if I want to go a bit further for this guitar, I could probably get a staggered locking tuner if I want to. But that will be a little bit on the intermediate side. So if you have to check whether all your linings are there perpendicular down. If not, then you might have problem with tuning after all. So the string tree is there for a purpose. For me, I stuck with a simple set of Goto locking tuners, which Wayne changed for me a couple of years ago, and the TUS string tree. Now, going down, if you do need to change the nut because it's badly cut, by all means get a luthier to cut you a brand new nut. A couple of materials that you can opt for, the graph tag or a bone. Or if you want to go like really exotic, go for brass if you want to. I would settle for a graph tag nut, self-lubricating, And as I go down the neck, if I need to refret, go ahead and do a refretting. You can have a choice between stainless steel and nickel. I prefer nickel. I prefer jumbo. So, down the road, if you don't like your guitar, the way it sounds, change the pickups. The reason why I have EMGs for both of these guitars is because I found them to be very, very quiet and useful in studio situations where a little bit of hum is detected and can be heard. I like the EMGs because they have the power, they have the clarity. I use them on stage because, on stage you have a whole lot of power cans and a whole lot of lights and electronics. So it's good to have pickups that doesn't pick up all this interference. And EMG pickups are, mostly on the medium to higher side output, so it can drive an amp or overdrive unit fairly easily. And I just like the way it sounds. I've played EMGs for many, many years. So again, it depends on the situation where you're in. Where are you using a guitar with? Are you using it in the club? In a garage where you're just jamming with your friends, or in a bedroom, or in a studio? When you're doing recording. And as I go down, I will probably swap the tremolo system if it's not functioning properly, in which case I did. I actually had a 510 over here, a Goto, which I did a swap with a Vegatram because I like the way that, you can do almost a Floyd Rose kind of thing without having a locking nut. Works well with this guitar. So the pickups that I chose for this guitar is a set of Vince Gill EMGs with the SPC control. And I'm going to talk about SPC control later on. So these are some of the mods I've mentioned, like, as you go down, from your neck down, you can choose what you want to do. The other mod you can think about is strap locks, because they are vital if you're playing on stage a lot. And I have strap locks on most of my performing guitars, guitars that I bring on stage, because I don't want them dropping on me halfway through the set. And that's about it. Electronic wise, you can kind of choose between 250 K pot, 500 K pot, depending on your pickups. You can have a cap there if you want to, and not have a cap. You can have a tone bleed if you want to. Whatever you choose. So these are little mods that you can do yourself if you are well versed in electronics, which I'm not. So I'm very dependent on Wayne on this. Now, the mods you see on other people's guitar is because they want it that way, because it suits their style of playing, it suits their environment that they're working in. Don't do mods just for the sake of doing mods, because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I have a couple of guitars here that remain stock all the time, like the sort of PRSs and about my Paul Eddy and my James Tyler. I just love them for what they are. Even my Luke, my Luke didn't go through any mods at all. Stock since the day it arrived in Singapore in the year 2000, if I'm not mistaken, 2010, right? This guitar here, okay, so this is a Squier, and it's a very one-off series because this is like a Jazz Masters Tele. Interesting, I got this in Hong Kong. I have also a video about this, but briefly, there's nothing wrong with this guitar. The tuners are stock. Again, I changed to a GraphTech, or rather a TUS string tree. Nothing done with the nut. The nut was stock all the way. Now the pickups is where I started changing, because the original pickup has a P90 which howl. It just howl. I don't know why it's missing home or whatever. Or it's in heat, but it just howl, and I couldn't take it. So I changed it to a set of EMG TX, hot TX. With an SPC control over here, which I had to forgo the tone control. So this guitar has no tone control. You just have this SPC control and a volume. And the SPC comes in really handy because I use this guitar for a concert, a sort of worship concert in Taipei, and it performed flawlessly. Again, now, the SPC control. So SPC control for EMG is like having a booster built into your guitar, which I find to be so convenient. And the best part is you can have increments because there's a knob control where you can adjust how much boost you want out of this guitar. Again, you see that I have a Vega trem for the Tele. So this is the Vega trem for the Tele, which, okay, it works, so more like a Bixby. And these are little things that I want to do because I just wanted to have this guitar look a certain way and perform a certain way, hence the tortoiseshell pickguard. So this Tele set did not come in with the pickguard. The Vince Gill does. This one does not, but I asked Wayne to procure for me a tortoiseshell pickguard. So basically, the mods that you are thinking of doing has to be of a purpose. Again, do not just do mods because everybody is doing them. Pick your mods, do your research, go on the internet, find out which pickups are suited for your style of playing. What sort of string tree do you want to procure, or what sort of pickguard, or what sort of electronics mods that you want to do. Your locking tuners, what sort of what brand, what make, what style. Do you need a stagger locking tuner or not, stuff like that. So do your research, and you're gonna enjoy it, because I enjoy myself going down the rabbit hole and finding out what components I need to do and what I need to procure. Now there are pickups other than EMGs. There are so many out there, like the Sir Tom Buckers and the Michael Landau and the Seymour Duncans, the DiMarzio. So you're gonna have a good time doing your research. Now, having modification done on your guitars is so much fun, just like having modification done on your car or your bicycle or your motorbike or even your house. But it must be done with a purpose. It must be done with a legitimate reason. So I'm excited for you guys, and I just hope that you guys will have a great time and wisdom, in choosing your mods. I've seen a lot of guys, me myself included, who did some modification and in the end regretted it, and then I have to sell it again, tore it apart. One of the worst modification that you can ever do is something that is done to your guitar, like sort of artwork that you're doing on your guitar body, and that you cannot rectify. When it comes to color, there's only so much you can do. So it's always advisable to choose a guitar properly, like I always advocate, going out to the shop, trying out a guitar, and then decide whether you want to get the guitar or not, with the colors and with the components, right? Now, Thomann in online stores does have a option for you, because these guitars are relatively affordable, so you can just order them online, and if there's any modification to be done, you can just do it, pertaining to your budget, right? So I hope you get something out of this video, and I hope you enjoy this video. Leave your comments in the comment section down below. I want to hear from you guys. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel, press the bell for notification of future videos that follow, and be part of patrons to support this channel. I want to thank all my patrons for the wonderful love, the wonderful support. Thank you so much, guys. So in the meantime, you take care of yourself, and I'll see you real soon. Sayonara.